Okay, part two of the Too Nice Too Long exhibit at the Anton Kern Gallery in New York City, New York. Now, and please forgive me if I do not pronounce this correctly, but Laura, Schnitger. I'm not even going to try and mutilate it a second time. But anyway, part one I basically covered from the time I walked in and read off what you see in the main the main artwork you see in the window, and read off how it seems scattered in this. The main artwork seems scattered and disorganized. And by the way, yes, I did really read the press release and some literature that was provided to me by one of the excellent ladies at the Anton Kern Gallery, but I have a tendency to give you my impressions of an exhibit. So I see things kind of differently at times, see art kind of differently. Now, with this exhibit, you walk in and, it seemed like kind of like scattered, the first piece of art seemed kind of scattered and disorganized, which makes sense because looking back on the exhibit and the exhibit as a whole, it almost seemed like she takes us on a timeline through the evolution and how the women's movement came together, and the advances that it has made. So we go from right in the front of the gallery, from chaos and disorganization, for lack of better terms, to the back, which I can still picture in my mind how there were wooden arms and hands coming out from the wall, kind of like the old mannequins from like 100 years ago, 50, 75 years ago, maybe that you might see. And in the movies, like the old wooden robots that you would see. And unfortunately, I didn't know I was going to stop by there ahead of time, so I didn't have a chance to let anyone know that I would be covering this. But I did let them know when I arrived. Back to the exhibit review. And I can still picture that in my mind, looking at the back and seeing these, these wooden arms and hands coming out from the wall, which really caught my attention. Almost a week later, if I can still picture that crystal clear in my mind, that says something. And these held out various pieces of art. And by the way, just so you know, this is an installation art exhibit, at least by my definition, where the art really isn't for sale, but it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose, and obviously I already stated that. So the wooden hands and arms held out various pieces of art, and the art depicted women, different, everything from sexy see-through lingerie to a leather outfit. So it depicted again the evolution of the women's movement, but also women, how they can almost be sexy, seductive, and I hate to use the word vulnerable, which I'll get in a ton of trouble in today's society, but just like men, they can be vulnerable at times. But the way the leather came across to me was they can also be even in the next moment. I was married for over 8 years, by the way, to my other half. That they can also be domineering, even at times from moment to moment. They can be domineering, they can be powerful, they can be self-assured, confident, etc. And the different pieces of art as a whole, they had a more focused, more of a coming together theme. Now the Anton Kern Gallery, I looked at the wall and it wasn't, I actually had to ask someone because it was my first time there. It said more of the exhibit upstairs. So I got some exercise, walked up the steps, and on the top floor, it was the more modern art pieces. And by modern, I mean glitter, paint, etc. More modern themes, more 2000s, 2017 style to it, which indicated that the variety and the different, and in my opinion, in the way, my impression of it, we go from basically chaos of the organization of the movement to beginning to and actually defining the roles of different time periods that women had, and all of a sudden we come to, guess what, we're capable of anything, and we're capable of anything. We've proven it, and if you don't like it, oh well. This is who, you know. This is women in the modern age. This is who we are. Period. So overall, the Too Nice Too Long exhibit did stick to the press release. No, I'm not going to run through it on you because I don't have it in front of me. But my take of it was, in addition to showing the beginnings and evolution of the women's movement and fight for equality, it also showed, I took it in a broader aspect of looking back on it, how this exhibit portrayed the timeline of any movement and any fight for equality throughout the history of the human race, especially in today's modern era. How everything starts with an idea and chaos, and realizing that guess what, this is what we're up against. This is how, and I hate one of the words I hate to use, but this is how we're being oppressed. This is how we're being put down. And you know what? We need to organize, and we need to start figuring out who we are as a group, a collective, a gender, etc. And we need to, and if we don't feel comfortable with the way society is portraying us, with the way, our role in society, we need to start moving into the modern era and saying, hey, guess what? Here we are. This is who we are. This is, everyone's human. We're all human beings, and we're all part of the human race, no matter what our gender, no matter what, anything, our preferences, etc. So the Too Nice Too Long exhibit, actually, for myself and my interpretation of it, served the dual purpose of not only portraying the women's movement, but portraying the timeline of any movement or any fight for equality of the entire human race. Michael Phoenix here, standing in Allentown, Pennsylvania, in very cold temperatures, I may add, coming up on the end of December. Thanks to this sponsors, financial and otherwise. Please go to the Thanks to the Sponsors page. Check out and support these people in businesses, because without them, I never could have made it this far. Very, very, very special thanks to two truly amazing friends, Rocco and Laura Maniscalco, because without them, magazine, we never would have made it up to New York for the first time in my 46 years of existence, honestly. So to all you out there, thank you so much. And by the way, for the support. And by the way, this exhibit is only going until December 23rd, but please check out Laura's work online. If you have a chance to see her performing, if you have a chance to see her fighting for, fighting for women, etc., please go out, because her artwork is truly amazing.